Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo Ezri. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? You know my help, it comes from God who made heaven and earth. Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo
Shirak
El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Esri Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Esri Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Esri Esri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Esri I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where, oh, where does my help come from? I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where, oh, where does my help come from? You know my help, it comes from God who made heaven and earth. Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo
Shabbat Shalom to you, all of you in the sanctuary, and I want to also wish those at home who I can see on my screen. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to Alan and Ellen Kellum, Nat and Gracie Cohen, Joe Kelvin, Sylvia Rabin, Sarah and Aminata, Ken Khan and Joanne Kelp, and all the others who are joining us from home. We're glad to be with you. This is a wonderful night to restart, reopen, be with one another in new ways. So I invite you to join with us in opening our song with making ourselves a sanctuary and being grateful that we are able to be here together.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. I know. It's a lot.
You people! We forget how beautiful it is to feel human company. I did. I forgot for just a moment. Thank you for reminding me. It is an honor to invite our fearless leader, our president, Gaia Goldman, to bless the Shabbat lights with us so that we may welcome Shabbat into our midst. Pages 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'od mikner shel Shabbat.
We continue to welcome Shabbat with the song Shalom Aleichem on page 24, and generally this is a song that we sing at our Shabbat tables after we've already been to temple, because We are welcoming those angels who have followed us home from shul into our home to see how we have prepared Shabbat to be in our midst. And it occurs to me that tonight, all of you have been a Shabbat angel. Those of you here in the sanctuary have been a Shabbat angel to somebody else to make this a full and beautiful Shabbat. So all of you who made it out, we are so grateful and appreciative. So just look around and see who the angels are in our midst who have lifted and magnified this beautiful Shabbat as we sing these greetings to one another.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Zeichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 26. Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman karim v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olam me'om hayah yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudashah b'richu le'ela min kol berchata b'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imeru. Amen. The words are on your insert for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Yalla lai lai lai. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai. 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 Yalla lai lai lai.
Please join me in English on page 31 at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochmeinu ufkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu e'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, Micha Mocha, our Song of Redemption.
Micha mocha, bailim Adonai. Micha mocha, neder b'kodesh. Nora, tehilot, osef elef. Nora, tehilot, osef elef. Micha mocha, bailim Adonai. Micha mocha, neder b'kodesh. Malchutecha, rauvanecha, bokei hayam, lifnei Moshe, Zeili, anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom,
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hashkivenu l'chaim, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hashkivenu l'chaim, On page 44, and also in this week's Parsha, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat as a covenant for all time, a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was resouled, refreshed.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Tefillah begins on page 46.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yana lai lai lai, 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 yana lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, מקוני הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Be seated. Please join me in English together at the bottom of page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Yisrael, amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam, be'ava tekabel. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam, be'ava tekabel, u'tehi leratzon tamid, avodat Yisrael amecha, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Yisrael, amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam, be'ava tekabel. Karov l'chol karav, b'nei avodecha, v'chaneinu, shefuch ruchacha aleinu, v'techezena einenu b'shuvecha l'tzion, Ritzei Adonai
this time in our service, this is the slot for Thanksgiving. So I want to ask those of you here in the sanctuary, and I'm monitoring the chat in the live stream for those of you who want to share something for which you're grateful for. I think it would really boost and lift all of us to hear that there are things for which we all have to celebrate and be joyful for one another in. So just raise your hand or type something in, people. Lori. Lori Johnson, grateful to be here, to be able to say yard site with her community for her second yard site of her dad. Nat Cohen is grateful that Gracie is feeling better. That probably means she's getting some sleep. And Sharon Farr is grateful for her Jewish community. This is fun. Sabrina. Always grateful for a good doctor's report. I'm grateful for your good doctor's report. Dion?
We are just so grateful to be back with our community after such a long time away, and very excited to have our dear friends from Florida visiting with us.
Welcome. Dion and Gil are grateful to be home after a long time away and grateful to have dear friends with them. Raymond. What could be bad when our kids are healthy and they love their jobs? I'm going to add and have jobs. How about that? That might not be your case, but making it general. Damon. Grateful to see the kids last weekend, especially because they live so far away. Sarah Becker is grateful for the community. Ken Kahn is grateful for good health and family. Stephanie Nussbaum is grateful for a wonderful family and their support. And also Mrs. Maisel, season 4. What? Who knew? Thank you, Stephanie Nussbaum. I have something to look forward to. One more here in the sanctuary. Hannah.
I'm grateful my family enjoyed my challah, even though I forgot to put enough salt.
Grateful for a forgiving family who enjoyed the challah even though it was made with not enough salt. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing your joys. We will continue with our prayer for peace on page 60, Shalom Rav. A beautiful setting from our beautiful Sarah Kim. Thank you.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Ki atah hu melech Adon V'chol ha'shalom Ki atah hu melech Adon Shalom, Shalom, Shalom V'tov beinecha levorech et amcha Yisrael B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
As we have expressed gratitude for all that is good in our lives, and we have been grateful for wholeness and peace, we extend our hearts and our prayers to those who are in need of healing, be they broken in body, mind, or spirit, offering them our blessings of renewal, wholeness, and peace. From our congregational families and their extended families, we pray for Chris Argall, Betty Cohen, Nat and Gracie Cohen, Gloria Cohen, Erica Prather, Roger Klinger and Marvin, Mary Bean, Trish, Carolyn and Pat Cairns, Bill Dershowitz, Brian Connell, Amy Cooper, Hilda Daly, Char DeGrave, Liz Daniel, Elizabeth Draper, Andrew Fisher, Beatrice Fry, Jacob Gluckman, Maxine Goldstein, Mona Greenbaum, Nita Hicks, Ron Homan, Dick Kelvin, Ivy Kirschenbaum, Chris Kuntz, Stephen Margolis, Marta Prupas, Jim Rudisil, Deborah Sanders, Randy Scharf, Julie Sherman, Jean Schimmel, Bob Ward, and anyone else in the live stream chat I might have missed. We include them too. Please join us. The chorus is El Na Rafana La Rafana Lanu from the book of Numbers, Moses' prayer, deep prayer for his sister Miriam. Please, God, heal her, and Herzog added for us and heal us as well. Together.
Dear God of our ancestors,
Dear God of our ancestors,
help us renew our faith.
help us renew our faith.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Bring peace to all our days.
Bring peace to all our days. And
Restore our strength of body.
restore our strength of body.
Help clarify our mind.
Help clarify our mind.
Refresh our tired spirit.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Rejuvenate our mind.
Rejuvenate our minds. And refine our lives. El na refine our lives. Refine our lives.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Throughout our days and nights.
Throughout our days and nights.
We celebrate the journey.
We celebrate the journey.
This precious gift of life.
This precious gift of life. Refine our love. Refine our love. And refine our love. Refine our love. And
We share a few moments together in silence.
יהיו לרצון אמרפי, יהיו לרצון אמרפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, amen.
There are two seas in the land of Israel. One is fresh, and fish are in it. Splashes of green adorn its sands. Trees spread their branches over it and stretch their thirsty roots to sip of its healing waters. Along its shores, children play. The river Jordan makes this sea sparkle with water from the hills. It laughs in the sunshine. People build their homes near to it, and birds their nests. And every kind of life is happier because it is there. The river Jordan also flows south to another sea. Here there is no splash of fish, no fluttering leaf, no song of birds, no children's laughter. Travelers choose another route unless on urgent business. The air hangs heavily above its waters, and neither person nor beast nor fowl will drink. What makes this mighty difference in these seas? Not the river Jordan. It empties the same good water into both. Not the soil in which they lie, not the country round about. This is the difference. The Sea of Galilee receives but does not keep the Jordan. For every drop that flows into it, another drop flows out. The giving and receiving go on in equal measure. The other sea, however, is shrewd, hoarding its income jealously. It will not be tempted into any generous impulse. Every drop it gets, it keeps. It lets nothing flow out. The Sea of Galilee gives and lives. The other sea gives nothing, and thereby it is called the Dead Sea. I love this teaching from Midrash Rabbah, a classic source of ancient rabbinic homilies. In fact, I've shared it often at the funerals of people whose own flourishing derived from living in service to and giving to others. The rabbis from whose imagination this metaphor arose were providing us a deeper understanding of God's request in the opening verses of this week's Parsha that every male 20 and over should bring a half-shekel donation to the temple to be counted in the census of the community. In the rabbi's view, levying this half-shekel wasn't a tax. It wasn't a fee for a rendered service. It wasn't to teach us about our obligation to share our personal wealth with our community, nor was the spirit of giving a half-shekel to the temple merely to provide financial security to the workers or workings of their temple, though it did serve that purpose. Instead, this midrash suggests that there is another reality we are invited to attune ourselves to and participate in, a sacred flow of both giving and receiving, which results in everyone and everything flourishing. Our ancient rabbis knew that there is a part of us that believes that giving functions like math, Sam. If we have a certain amount and we give it away, it results in us having less. But they hoped we might see and feel and trust instead that for every drop of time or talent or treasure that we invest, an equal measure will flow back our way in some form or another. In fact, it's not coincidental that the Hebrew word that the Torah employs here for "and they shall give," the half-shekel, is v'natnu, which is a palindrome, a word that's spelled the same backwards and forwards, signifying that even as one gives, one receives. Certainly, we all have moments that we don't feel that the gifts we're bringing are appreciated or acknowledged enough, or times we feel that others are not giving their fair share of what they can. This is precisely why the rabbis believed there was something to teach us here, a quality of heart and mind that may not come naturally for us, but might nevertheless radically transform us for the better. What is particularly compelling in their metaphor is comparing the commandment of the half-shekel donation to the workings of the natural world and not the human world. Because the human world is generally one in which we tend to see ourselves as separate individuals, living within an economy that presumes there is that which is mine and that which is yours. And we decide together as a country or a city or a municipality what we will collectively pitch in to share space with one another. But beyond that, it's up to our personal discretion how much we keep for ourselves and what we give away. In contrast, the natural world, the world of the Jordan River, the Dead Sea, and the Sea of Galilee, is a world which can only be understood in ecological terms, where everything is tied together through a complex web of interdependence. and the natural consequences of taking the life-giving waters of the Jordan without giving an equal share back causes everything to die. And the converse is true as well. We all thrive when we pattern our lives in alignment with the knowing that blessings will flow back to us with every drop of generosity we allow to flow out. The truth is that there is no human world separate from the natural world. And we do ourselves a favor to see ourselves as part of a sacred ecological system and not merely an economic one. As Martin Luther King said so eloquently, in a real sense, all life is interrelated. All men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality. I believe that Dr. King spoke these words against a backdrop that he knew well of the earliest words of our sacred scripture in Genesis, where God says, Lo tov hayot Adam levado. It's not good for humans to be alone. And then created Eve as the partner of Adam. The half-shekel donation codified this institutionally. It being a half-shekel implies that on our own, we are a fraction of what we can be. We need partnerships. We need others to help us fulfill our potential, to help us grow into our better selves. Moreover, the Torah specifies that no one should give a whole shekel, even if they want to, and even if they have the ability to. This is not to discourage giving, for sure. Instead, it is to embed in us the idea that as each adult brings his or her half-shekel, that half-shekel is joined with someone else's half-shekel. And all the half-shekels rendered every individual person a partner of every other person in their sacred congregation in sustaining one another and the larger community day after day, year after year. In a holy community, no one person can or should sustain the congregation alone. And by extension, we are also assured that in holy community, no one faces life alone. The path to connection is through stepping in and giving your half-shekel, of participating in the delicate ecosystem of sharing and receiving the flow of blessing. For these powerful reasons, this portion of Torah is read not once, but twice yearly. Once on Shabbat Ki Tisa, which is this week, and as a special extra reading on a special Shabbat called Shabbat Shekalim, the Sabbath of Shekels, which always precedes Rosh Chodesh Adar, which this year falls next week. So you can think about this message next week too. It's no accident that we read about the half-shekel donation at the onset of Adar, because Adar is the month in which the Jewish people celebrates Purim, the story of the collective salvation of our people through Esther's decision to be counted as a Jew instead of hiding. Consequently, all four of the Purim mitzvot derived from that story require us to participate collectively as a community. In order to read the Megillah, one needs a minyan. To send gifts to the poor, you need to know who's needy in your community. To send mishloach manot, gifts to our friends, we need to look beyond our homes and identify who is in our collective community. And a festive meal isn't one that is enjoyed alone, but shared with others. Shabbat Shekalim also opens a season of special Shabbatot that precede the festival of Pesach. And in a similar vein, one can say, or be reminded, that no one wants to be likened to that evil child at the Seder table who sees himself as standing apart from the community. Of course, this same Jewish tradition, which emphasizes the collective, also places a high value on the individual. Think about the teaching that whoever kills an individual, it is as if they have killed a world entire. Both the concern for the individual and for the community are captured in Rabbi Hillel's famous query, Im ein ani li mili, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? Uchsha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani, but if I'm only for myself, what am I? The pandemic has certainly been an education in how to hold those two truths at once. I'm so proud of the ways that we have stayed together as a community while we strove to survive apart. I'm humbled by the ways we found roots to connection while we endured painful separation. It's been a difficult go, and we're not done. But because so many have stepped up and keep stepping up with their half-shekel, and they were met by others giving their half-shekel, today we remain a thriving community. I hope as our reopening continues and gains momentum, that this is just the beginning for all of us to find the ways back to one another and to the sacred flow of shared blessings, of giving and receiving, because together we are simultaneously halves and wholes. Shabbat Shalom. I invite you to the back covers of your prayer books as we rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כשומרי האדמה, והוא שמנו לשליחי התורה, שהוא שם חיינו איתם, וגורלנו עם כל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. V'nei
Our thoughts turn now to all those who have departed, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives are a blessing to humanity. We think of these who have passed from our congregational families in recent days. We remember Joel M. Wiseman, the brother of Phyllis Nalick, Norman Evrutin, the father of Sharon Siegel and grandfather of Sarah Chikoto, and Zoralita Kolke, cousin of Preston Diamond, who will be laid to rest in the coming days. We also acknowledge the yard sites of Morris Altschuler, Marion Redig Bernstein, Rachel Capiluto, Gerald H. Cohen, Susan Cohen, Lena Marcille Epperson, Jerry Farber, Jean Gergel, Abe Jaffe, Dora Sellinger, and Mike Wetzelblatt, and those who are mentioned in the live stream. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing as we turn together to page 294, joining as one congregational family in the Kaddish. But if you are here in mourning, I invite you to rise first so that we might acknowledge your grief. And I invite the congregation to rise and stand beside you. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam maraba min shemaya, v'chayim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen.
Be'yado afkiruchi, be'ed ishan ve'ayira, ve'imruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira.
My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. My soul I give to you. My spirit is in your hand. I shall not fear.
Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira.
Shabbat Shalom. It's nice to hear that come back, you know. My name is Gaia Goldman. I'm here this evening representing the Temple's board. It is so nice to have humanity back in this building in the form of all of you wonderful people. Yes. It occurs to me that if these walls could talk, they would say welcome, first of all. They would also say, where have you been? And they might also say, next week, bring your friends. And to you at home, if you're watching, these walls might say, you think this is all the same, that you're home with your slippers and your pajamas and maybe the glass of wine, and maybe you're watching the 4th season of The Marvelous Miss Maisel on the other screen at the same time. But to paraphrase Rabbi in her Devar, alone we're fractured, and we need you back here with your half-shekel so that we can all be together and stronger and whole. And to entice you to do that, I'll just say that we're populating our spring calendar with all kinds of fun things to allow us to come back together here in this building. First of, we're having our Kesher Shabbat next Friday here in the temple for Kesher students so that they can to allow them to weave in the product of their poetry through the Shabbat service next week. So please come. We are also celebrating, a new member Shabbat on the 11th of March. So we hope that you will all come back and introduce yourselves to the 30-plus member households. Hard to believe, but 10% of our membership is new, and some of them have never been here. So it would be wonderful if you all could come and give them the full measure of our hospitality and show them what we're all about in ways that we haven't been able to do that before. And let them, show them the community that we are, that they're becoming a part of. Let's see, what else? Oh, on Wednesday, February 23rd, that's next week, Sisterhood is inviting all of CBHT members to join them for a tour of French Broad Chocolate Factory and Ginger Revenge. Info is in the Tuesday email about that. My RSVP to Sisterhood had 5 words. You had me at chocolate. Ask Hope Warshaw, she'll confirm. So if they had you at chocolate too, I hope you'll join us so I'll feel a little less guilty. Let's see, Purim is right around the corner. We are planning to have a spiel in person on the 16th of March. This year, the theme is Totally Rad 80s Dude. So if you want in on the fun, rehearsals start on March 3rd. Please reach out to Kim or Buffy in the office to be a part of our totally tubular cast. Let's see. I thought I had one more thing to say. Oh, Hard Locks. It's back. And it doesn't do itself. In fact, we need about 180 people, volunteers, to make this happen. Every year, except for the last 2, we've been able to gather around this wonderful community event and pull it off. This year is no different, except that it's on May 1st, and we're kind of rebuilding it from the ground up, so it's a wonderful opportunity for you all to be a part of something new and fresh. There will be details in Tuesday's email to sign up for volunteering opportunities. I hope you will do that. There are also sponsorship opportunities that you might be able to help us with, so please pay attention because it's coming up soon and it's right around the corner. I think that's all I had. Shabbat Shalom, and again, welcome.
Shabbat Shalom. I also want to, before we end the service, every month we've been spotlighting some wonderful mensch in our community. And David and Susan Leader, I know you're here with us from home. And tonight we're shining a spotlight on Susan, who with David have been temple members since 2014. And between that time and now, Susan, you may not have known, has offered her talents freely to help us with projects that are so behind the scenes that but needed tending. Did you know that the binders that go around our Torah scrolls, those belt-like things that clasp and hold the two scrolls together, they lose their elasticity very easily. And Susan is always there to repair the binders when they get stretched out so that they're taut and keep our scrolls safe. And when the when our CBHT was gifted our illustrated Torah from the Diamond and Ring families, Susan made us the cover and the binder for this treasured gift when it was living in our ark. Now we get to see it on display. When we need to repair our beloved tiny scrolls that our children use for our spirited Hakafah at family services, Susan always shows up to do the sacred work. Additionally, Susan also is the one who knits baby hats and blankets to welcome new babies into our community. And when I'm really good, I'll take a picture and send it to her so that she can enjoy seeing the babies. And she has this special way of making a little Jewish star crocheted in the top. So they're Jewish hats in addition. And she makes the blankets to remind our families that CBHT is always wrapping their arms around their growing families. Susan, we're so grateful for your talents and your quiet work behind the scenes that makes us a stronger CBHT community. And we love you and miss you and hope your knee is feeling better soon. And with that, we will conclude our service. I invite you all to rise for a rousing Oseh Shalom. Why not shoot big, asking for the big peace, the peace that comes down from the heavens. May peace reign upon us, all Israel, and all living things.
Oseh Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru.
Thank you so much to our stream team, Kevin and Brian, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.